Please welcome Ruby Shander and Vanessa Wilson to the stage.
Ruby Shander is a nominee for this year's Ally to Queer Youth Award, and is also a poet, artist, and all-around awesome ally. Vanessa Wilson performed earlier this year at Serenity Out in the Open, a fundraiser dinner put on by the Young Queer Alliance program. Tonight, Vanessa and Ruby will be bringing us some of their own version of poetry and spoken word.
Please join me in welcoming Vanessa and Ruby to the stage.
Who am I?
Who am I?
Who am I?
I am Ruby. I'm here to drop this line. Life is bending over space and time. Seeing is believing, but believing is blind. To encourage this behavior is committing a crime.
Who am I? The voices of the past, the not enoughness that fills my chattering mind with doubt and delusion. This fear doesn't seem to be mine, but is so entrenched and gnawing. Numb me.
Control me. Whatever you want.
Just don't make me go through this.
Hurts like this. Hurts like this. Won't go away. Why hurts like this? The pain won't go away.
There is no love potion to wake me up from Snow White's deep sleep. This is no fairy tale. This is real life.
My life. Being open to share with you.
I am dumb.
I am so stupid.
I'm such a dork.
I can't believe I just did that.
Did she see me?
Oh my God.
The old voices aren't even mine, haunting me. Deeply entrenched patterns possess my reality. Skewed vision, I think I'm seeing straight.
Survival seems to save me from suicide,
but really only brings me closer.
Brings me closer, brings me closer. So I pick the scales off my skin and reach deep inside the layers of fibrous chains that bind my breath so shallow.
Breath so shallow.
Breath so shallow. Stuff who you really are.
Then no one can see the pain deep inside. Too much damage, so much delusion, so much fear causing confusion. Too many dreams fallen short and broken. It's not what I wanted. If only I could keep a better grasp. Acceptance so far out of reach, the dream world is better. The red pill or the blue pill,
the choice is yours. But I trip over surface, drowning deep into fear of drowning too deep into a cycle of rowing the boat on only one side that flips the trigger.
Flips the trigger.
Flips the trigger.
But I know I have the courage to face reality today. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. That release doesn't mean I'm giving in. It means that I'm willing to see the limitations while being open to greater possibility. Loaded with love, I am free to be me. I can believe that there is hope for tomorrow. I am reminded every time I judge you or me
or the current circumstance
that my fear is overriding truth.
Marinating in agony.
I fail to see what is really constructive, pain, an inevitable part of life
that will go away
the sooner I allow myself to feel it.
So I pick the scales off my skin and reach deep inside the layers of fibrous chains that bind my breath so shallow. So I reach deep inside to find one breath, just one breath to be, just one to nourish me.
Nourish me.
Nourish me.
I need to shout.
Shout at the top of my lungs.
To break this silence.
The silence of shame.
The silence that is kept down under, shoved under the rug, hidden behind the picture-perfect family smile. The piercing voices that seem to be so true. These words that tell me that I don't deserve it.
That I'm not worth it.
That no one would like me anyway.
I'm a mistake. It flips the trigger.
Flips the trigger.
Flips the trigger of post-war survival. Survival of the best fit. Fit neatly into complexities left undefined. So I drown deeper into triggers of what my therapist calls post-traumatic stress. PTS that press my breath so close to my chest that my lungs collapse and become so shallow.
But today,
I claim there are no mistakes. Submerged in deep presence, I find the world opening up.
I have been shaken.
Shaken by possibility and love.
Compassion and peace, a strength and courage
Greater than me. I am connected.
I am loved.
I am the change I seek in the world.
I am hope.
I am harmony.
I am worth
Every bit of gratitude.
I am given. I do deserve as much serenity as anyone else.
I am radiance.
I am opened.
I am transformed.
I am transformed.
I am transformed.
That was amazing. Thanks, Vanessa and Ruby. Now we would like to introduce to you this year's Queer Youth Leadership Awards coordinator, Lex.
Lex was the 2009 Allied to Queer Youth awardee and has taken the coordination of tonight's event. Please join us in welcoming Lex to the stage.
Hello, 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 hello. How you feel? You having fun? Come on, don't get shy on me. I know you've got full bellies, and I just want to extend a personal thank you, not just as the coordinator of the Queer Youth Leadership Awards, but as a community member. And in particular, as last year's 2009 Ally to Queer Youth awardee, I want to say thank you. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you as individuals. Obviously, tonight here we had a lot of co-sponsors. We had a lot of organizations that pitched in. We had a lot of individuals that pitched in. And so I just want to say thank you to each and every member of our community that showed up today for our youth. Yeah, thank you. So this year we had 24 nominees in total. We had 3 organizations, 11 allies, and 10 youth. And that's a lot of people. And you're getting introduced to them as we go through the show. And I want to just take a moment to reflect on those who are not here in this room. And I want to just take a moment just to think about those youth who we know who are not out, or who are not here in this room, or who are not being nominated, or who are not being celebrated outright. We want to take a moment to celebrate them as well. Take a moment to celebrate the breaking open of every closet door all around the country and all around the world. Want to take a moment? Yes, yes, yes. Want to take a moment just to say thank you to our unsung heroes. To say thank you to each and every one of us that didn't make it here. For those of us who have survived, and for those of us who made it to this room, our elders and our youth alike, and all of us in between, I just want to say thank you for coming. And for those who didn't make it, I just want us to say I love you. Because we really, really do, and that's what we're here doing. We're making ourselves more visible. We're making it safer so that when somebody opens the Sentinel and they see these kids on the front page, they say, hey, I can do that too, and it's okay, and I'm gonna be safe, and somebody's gonna love me, and there's gonna be an organization I can go to, a friend I can lean on, a church I can show up in, right? All this crazy stuff that we've got going on. It's just a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to take a moment from the bottom of my heart to say that. So that being said, it would make sense to follow with the importance of allies and how important it is for us to extend our hand and allow somebody else to come out. and how terrifying that can be, doesn't have to be, but how terrifying that can be, and how allies are the ones who help to make it safer. And so as the 2009 Ally to Queer Youth awardee, I want to introduce you to the nominees for this year's Ally to Queer Youth Award. So, there are a lot of them. 11, if I'm not mistaken. So our first nominee is Christy Zufo. Christy dedicates much of her time and energy to the queer youth of Santa Cruz County. By volunteering for Strange, Christy has become a friend and mentor to youth that she works with. Her dedication is tireless and felt by all who come in contact with her. Our second nominee is Abra Murphy. As a student at Pajaro Valley High School, Abra has stepped up as an ally on her campus by participating in her school GSA. By motivating and inspiring her fellow students, Abra has kept the vision alive for her school's GSA and has helped to advocate for the safety and well-being of her queer-identified peers. Our third nominee is Adrian Villegas. Adrian has been, some of you know Adrian, I see. Adrian has been a longtime member of the Strange group and is no stranger to queer youth in Santa Cruz County. As a volunteer, Adrian acts as a mentor and friend to all that he meets. Adrian is a dedicated student and loyal activist, friend, and mentor to all of the queer youth that he comes in contact with. Our fourth nominee is Brittany Thompson. Brittany is a familiar face at the Diversity Center. Volunteering with the Queer Youth Scene and the Young Queer Alliance, she's become a staple in the lives of the many of the youth that she works with. From giving rides to supporting youth, attending conferences and events, Brittany can always be found lending a helping hand and a loving ear. Our next nominee is Ron Indra. Ron has worked tirelessly to make our schools safer for queer youth. As a leader in the Safe Schools Project, Ron has dedicated much of his life to creating safer campuses and healthier lives for queer-identified students and their allies. Our next nominee is Jasmine Moore. Jasmine is an artist, actress, and activist dedicated to equality on her campus. As a leader in the Soquel High School Gay Straight Alliance, Jasmine works to make her school more accepting and safer for her queer peers. Our next nominee is Nicole Lencioni, better known as Little in her community. Little is an artist and producer who has dedicated her time, energy, and talent to making space for queer youth to express themselves freely. Volunteering at the Yes School, Little has been working with at-risk youth to overcome challenges with addiction. Little is truly an ally to queer youth. Our next nominee is Ruby Shander. Apart from being a phenomenal artist, Ruby is never without a smile. She helps to provide youth with the services and tools they need to live safer and more empowered lives. Working with Planned Parenthood, Ruby has been instrumental in the planning of this year's Safe Empowered Extraordinary Youth Conference that focused entirely on the health and safety of queer youth in Santa Cruz County. Our next nominee is Leslie Smith. As a teacher at Aptos Junior High School, Leslie Smith is no stranger to the youth. As an out and open lesbian woman, Leslie engages her students in the tough conversations and helps to combat stereotypes where youth learn the most, in the classroom. Our next nominee is Claire Shields. A longtime activist in the Santa Cruz County, Claire has dedicated much of her time and energy into furthering the rights of LGBTIQQ people in Santa Cruz County. Through fundraising and organizing, Claire Shields has helped to make Santa Cruz County a safer, more welcoming place for our youth. Our final nominee is Eileen Brown. Eileen is a Santa Cruz a Santa Cruz City School District employee, and in so being, she has a tremendous amount of influence in the lives of so many of our youth. As a part of the Safe Schools Project and a member of the Queer Youth Task Force, Eileen Brown is a phenomenal advocate for queer youth and their safety in our schools. Let's just give it up one more time for all of our allied to youth members. So this time I'd like to introduce you to our first awardee for this award. This year, actually, there are 2 awards for the Allied to Queer Youth Awards. There's one given to